Hey everyone, and welcome back to Anarium. I am your host, Cameron. I play Bernard on the show, and before we get started, I just wanted to say a few things. And firstly, I wanted to say that I'm sorry for our absence over the last month or so. It was the holiday season, and there were some family things, and we just couldn't link up and get things done the way we wanted to. Yeah. You just didn't hear from us, and I apologize for that. And secondly, I wanted to thank you for your patience with this show. It means a lot to us that you guys stick with us, and this has not been the smoothest thing. We're all trying to work hard on this and make a product that is enjoyable and fun, and sometimes it doesn't come out as timely as we would like. But you guys have hung in there, and we really appreciate you guys sticking with us. So we just wanted to say those few things before we get started, and now that that's out of the way, let's get into the show.
This is the trigger warning for our show. Please understand that various monsters had various victims and hunted in various ways depending on the folklore, mythology, or stories that were told about them. Please understand that it is not our intent to upset you. You will be given other warnings and additional warnings depending on the episode, but this is our blanket statement. We didn't write the myths, but we are using them to tell our story. Also, this is the content warning for our show. There will be cursing. There will be some interesting ideas. We will take it in where we can, but be warned, there was beer involved.
What if I told you there is a world where not only are monsters like vampires and werewolves real, but they have rights, just like you and me. And in this world, there exists a secret government organization dedicated to keeping you safe and making sure they follow the rules. Welcome to Anarium, a Monster of the Week podcast.
Last time you heard from us, I, for the first time ever, ran the game, and the gang went on a spooky Halloween excursion. We met a groovy chick named Ashley with a bionic arm, fought a rat king, a headless horseman, and an undead army. Oh, and met a demon named Yahul. You might want to try to remember that name, as you might see him in the future. But for now, we're jumping back into the main story. While we were on the Halloween excursion, Orpheus just kind of disappeared at the bottom of a well, and today we're going to learn a little bit about why that happened and where he was during that time, as well as checking in with Bernard in his prison cell. If you remember, that's where he is as a result of his actions in the dream world. So, without further ado, let's get back into the show, guys. I'm excited.
Hey, welcome back to Anarium. This is Sam, your monster daddy. Well, nope, that's pretty much it now. I'm told that's canon.
Yes, that's canon.
You welcome to the world of Anarium. It's a world made by me and numerous friends and family over the years, given life by Michael Sands' Monster of the Week. I am sitting with two of my good friends today. The other one was super busy, but we can make that work.
And also, this was very spur of the moment. We planned this 3 hours ago.
Yes. So, not so far away, Rob.
Not so far away, Rob has returned. I am not in Denver. I am in Fort Wayne. I am here in Indiana with my friends, with my brothers. I do want to apologize to all the listeners. Life happened last time, and unfortunately, because life happens, I wasn't able to be here, but life continues for everybody out there. Life moves on, and so here I am, and maybe some changes will allow me to be here with greater frequency in the future. So happy to be here, and
Funny
love
enough,
seeing these faces.
Like, when you called me, so I was in the car, and Rob called me. He was like, "What are you doing today?" And I was like, "Well, right now I'm heading home from the Indianapolis airport. I just dropped my brother off." And he's like, "Well, funny, I'm
40 miles ahead of you."
I just left. I'm heading to Fort Wayne. What are we gonna do?" I play Bernard. My name is Cameron, and I am in some hot water.
Just a little bit.
Bernard is. Well, I am too. That's just my perpetual
General
state of being.
I get that. I get that.
But yeah, we're gonna see learn a little bit today about maybe what's going on with Bernard, and also maybe hopefully answer some of the long-awaited questions about another certain character with bark.
Teaser.
On that note, we are coming back to the well, actually. You're down in the well. You're standing next to Ashley, who's conversing with these spirits. And you, Orpheus, feel this pull. And at first it's kind of gentle, but as the more you ignore it, the more you feel that, no, you need to go back home. You need to go back to your swamp. You're needed. So in that moment, you do your teleport. Click. Teleport. You're back in your swamp. It's nighttime. It's dark.
Okay.
What are you feeling in this moment? Like, this is new to you.
This is new. I would think to myself,
What a wonderful world.
I see trees of green. Is that how long? I can't say anymore, right? We can charge royalties.
15 seconds, unless
15
at the
seconds?
very
Oh, okay.
end you go,
Red roses too.
and then in the end you just have to say who sang it and how you feel about the song.
Oh, Louis Armstrong. Fantastic.
See,
Fantastic.
there you go.
Love it. We're good.
15 seconds
Come
and a real quick little review.
This swamp, she calls to me. I do not know why. These feelings, these are peculiar. I can feel you in my swamp. Why do you beckon me here so?
Alright, so we'll get the formalities out of the way. A gentleman steps out from behind a tree. He's probably 6, almost 7 foot tall. Like, he's a little taller than normal. He's wearing this kind of dusty black mix between a pea coat and a trench coat, kind of. He's got a fedora, black, matches the coat. And he steps out towards you, smoking a cigarette with his left hand.
I am in the swamp itself, yes?
Yes.
Do I see a disturbance in the waters as he's walking, as he's
Only
turning?
where he's walking.
Okay.
I apologize. If you've never been summoned before, it's probably a bit different. I wasn't certain if you'd come right away or not, but I greatly appreciate it. I'm not exactly crunched for time, but if I can get this out of the way quickly, I prefer to.
What is this power you use on me to draw me back here so quickly?
It's a very simple summoning spell. Reality, you die here, and this is where your essence kind of sits. So, very simple summoning spell. I don't think you may not have realized that this is a place that you are more connected to than one might have thought. I apologize. It's not a bad thing. Most people wouldn't think to do it, seeing as you're walking and talking on your own. I just needed you to be just you.
I don't know how you know so much about me. I don't even know all the things you are saying. Perhaps that is a tale for another day.
Actually, it's what I'm here to talk to you about, boy. Don't take that boy out. That sounded horrible. That's actually what I'm here to talk to you about.
Garçon.
Garçon. You see, I'm here to make you a deal.
The last deal I made turned me into this. I need to know more. I do not deal with strangers.
Well,
And
that's
you
an
know
interesting
me so
take.
well.
Seeing as what I'm offering you is all that information back, because the deal you made didn't turn you into this. It was a deal done without your consent to keep you alive. Papa Legba liked you, knew you and your wife. He stepped in, reached out to one of the lowers of the ground.
What do you know of my wife?
Oh, far more than you do. Though you make a lovely couple, admittedly, seeing it's so close to your heart and all that. I'm here to offer you a chance to be human again. Your wife, I can't do that. The deal you did to try to get her back kind of nixed that one, mate. But I can offer you being human again. And unlock the memories you lost while your brain rotted in the ground.
These promises you make me, how do I know they are not hollow?
I guess you don't, mate. You're just gonna have to trust me. I give you back your life to the best I can. Or you walk away, keep wondering. In return, all I ask is that when I need a favor, you show up.
And you stand in my swamp, and you tell me I am to trust you, and you tell me the last time I trusted one took my wife from me, made me this way?
It was your deal, mate. You made the offer. You called out to them.
And where were you when this deal was made?
I was nowhere near. I don't play with the law. That's not my kind of magic. Laws deal and deals. Me, they're helpful, but I make exceptions on occasion when I see people who are willing and capable of doing the things I might need done in the future. I'll give you your life, your brain, your memory, and maybe have you lose some of the greenery.
And what is it you need me to do in the future? And why is it so important that this future not be like this?
It's not that you can't be this way. In fact, I might reverse it for the thing I might need you for. The green mean power machine might just be good having on my side. But I know something you might want is your life back. Is this a deal? Something you might consider?
I never got your name, my friend.
Alright. I'll tell you what you need to know. We'll exchange names, but not titles. You have my name, is Roderick. However, I'm only going to respond to the whole title. But you don't need yet.
And Roderick, you must understand, this is a lot. I cannot process all of this just so. Well, this is all I have wanted. I need to be sure this is what I need too. Tell me, Roderick, does this still stand in perpetuity?
Alright. We can wait a minute. Roderick pulls his right hand out of his coat, and what you see in that right hand is that it is a deep crimson color, appearing to be burned, but that's not what makes it that color. He reaches into one of his top coat pockets and pulls out a card, roughly the same shade of crimson as his hand, and he reaches it out to you for you to take.
Can I have, like, one of the vines emerge from the swamp and just grab that on my behalf?
No, mate. You've got to take it in order for it to mean something.
Taking this card does not mean I take your deal.
Well, that's understood. Just take it. And in that moment, as his voice hits take it, your hand raises and takes it. You see, part of being summoned is that until I decide this is over, I'm your master. However, I will relieve you of such things. I don't need to be violent or shitty. However, I'm going to drop a bit of knowledge on you. You see this place where we're standing, where you teleported back to?
I do.
Do you see these weird square-shaped logs?
I am very familiar with my swamp.
This is the place where your family used to live. This is where you lived as a human. It's why you're connected to it. This is where it started, and this is almost where it ended. Take that in mind. And by the way, as much as I hate taking you from your friends and whatever weird thing you were doing on Halloween, I'm gonna need you to stay here for the next 12 hours. Then you're free. I've got other things to attend to. He slips his hand back into his coat pocket. You be good, Francois. In case you were wondering, that is your real name. I've got other places to be. Be good. Stay green. And Roderick walks away. where are you at now in this moment? Not physically, but mentally. This man has offered you basically being you again.
Absolute distrust while somehow absolutely yearning for everything. It feels like a literal deal with the devil himself, and knowing it, but wanting to gamble on it all the same.
Right.
I definitely want to, I say I know my swamp so well. I'm also just, he said several things there. He knows my wife. He knows my name. I don't even know my name. So I imagine like there's this flooding of memories, this flooding of emotion that was just locked behind so much. And then especially hearing that these square hewn logs were where my tale began. Maybe I don't know the swamp the way I thought I did. And maybe I just spend these 12 hours meditating on this land.
Which was his plan, is the idea
Yeah.
that if you're stuck in one place, you'll actually think about what he's offered you.
Yeah.
Not just to be a dick and prevent you from helping out with the rest of the Halloween story. It just made more sense with how this individual operates would be, no, I'm going to make you stay here so I know you're thinking about it and you're not going to forget.
And a little bit of a I didn't make the character, but it seems too probably trying to, what's the word, like trying to display a power a
Flex
little
your
bit
muscle.
too. Yeah, just to show you like I can make you do this.
I summoned you. I have control. Had you tried to attack me, he would have just told you to stop.
Hand wave that away. Yeah. It's like pulling your pants down at the urinal. It is a power move, right? If you're a grown man
it's
doing
like
that,
eating
it's
a
a power
banana
move.
without taking the skin off first. You own the rune.
So, would I rediscover anything in my swamp and these square logs? Would I dust something off? Would I dig deep and see an old familial crest? Would I...
You are feeling, Orpheus is feeling in this moment a warmth from the mask in his chest that is helping to guide him on a more spiritual plane. You're going to use your ability that lets you see spirits. I know I'm telling you this, and I apologize. Normally I let you do it, but just to make sure.
It was in the chamber. Yeah.
Okay, good. Normally I know it is, but I got ahead of myself and started telling a story and...
Let me tell my story, damn it.
Tell it, bitch. And I always try really hard not to, because I always want you guys to have your agency, and I don't want to railroad you. But in tuning into the spirit world, you can see a wispy form that would have been where your house was. And if you want to go forward and investigate the area, we can do that.
I do. I want to investigate specifically where he told me my house was.
All right.
And
Give me a
maybe a
roll.
little more specifically if there were any other spirits there as well. That's going to be a 7 plus weird.
Yep.
It's a 9.
Oh, yeah. All right. So you get one good question, but it can kind of be broad to make sure you get what you want.
Question to my DM or question to something I can see
To your
or
DM.
interact with?
To me. What can I tell you about this that you really want to know? And you know what? Because I don't want to limit you, because the mask is giving you some imagery here,
Okay.
you're at an 11. She gives you a +2 to this one.
Okay. 2 questions?
Yep, so you can have 2 questions. I realize that you kind of let me know you had 1 or 2 in mind, and I don't think it's a bad thing for uncovering some of your backstory and who you are to give you that.
Okay.
And it makes sense with the situation already kind of in your spiritual
I appreciate that.
zone.
So, I think the first thing that Orpheus would ask would be, what does he know of my wife and the life that I had with her before this deal?
As you're standing here in this kind of wispy house, like you can't really go in, it's not really there.
I think in character, I know that this mask is significant to me, but he dropped a bomb on me that my wife is close to my heart.
Oh, you picked up on that, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know if our audience knows this, but, like, you were told it was your wife a long time ago. You talked to somebody, and it was Baron Samity when he was digging the grave. He said, "It's good to see you and your wife back together again."
Thank you for the reminder.
Back in the ghoul scenario, which is good. But, yes, that mask has the spirit of your wife in it.
Okay.
And you asking what you're seeing, she's going to unlock some memories. She can't do a ton. It's not everything. It's just her face.
Okay.
The inside of your cabin. Where your bed was. How it was set up. Whether there was a second floor or not. Because you are in the swamps, which explains the posts leading up.
Mm-hmm.
But she was burned. So, when we explained where Tituba came from, the mask itself, Mama Teresa told you that the mask came from a woman that was burned for being evil when in reality she was trying to help people. That was your wife's story. You came home to find a burning cabin and no one there but knowing that the townsfolk nearby had killed her.
Okay.
She is showing you glimpses of her face. She's showing you the inside, the hearth. She's showing you personal items that were yours, things that were hers. You get a flash of who you know to be Baron Samity sitting at a table with another elderly black gentleman with white hair and a straw hat, wearing white linen, greeting you as you walked in a friendly, joyous manner. You don't know who the other gentleman is,
But there's another one.
but
Okay.
there is another gentleman there. Your wife being happy, putting food on the table for you and these other two men as you smoked cigars and have a conversation with her. She was a part of it. She wasn't by any means your maid. She was your wife. She was your partner, the way it's meant to be.
What deal did I make to try to save my wife that cursed me with this?
You get images. And it's not super clear, but you remember being at this cabin site as it was burning. You remember calling out to Papa Legba, who these memories are coming back, who is the elderly black gentleman with white hair and the straw hat. He's an intermediary between humans and Loa. You went to him to get to Baron Samity, as is normal, as is custom, so that you could make a deal to get your wife back from where she was.
Okay.
Obviously, you failed. I'm sorry.
All right.
You good?
Yeah, I think those are the questions I can ask.
All
Those
right.
are the ones that I needed to try to figure out better.
Enjoy that.
We got some dev, guys. We got some character dev.
We're unlocking things. We've been doing this a year. It's time to start meeting who your characters are and brush away some of that fog of war, that mystery.
All right, that feels good.
All right, your 12 hours is up. You're standing. You find that you've actually rooted in place, looking at the spiritual image of your home. Your 12 hours were up and gone.
12
before.
hours ago.
Like, yeah, like thank you, sir. You legitimately lost yourself in these memories.
Okay.
But you're free to go. I mean, you rooted yourself in place as almost comfort, as almost being in part of the swamp again and really tapping into what was in the location. You're by no means stuck there. This was a personal choice, much like when you plant a seed in the ground to keep an eye on things. I know you have that ability.
Mm-hmm.
It's very similar to that, but you didn't do the ability. It's just you were used to standing in one place for a very long time until
While
you felt you were
meditating.
needed.
Yeah.
What do you do now that you're free?
I would suspect that my friends, I know that it's a new day. It's a new dawn. I wouldn't be ignorant of that, I would presume.
Yeah.
I would suspect that my friends have dealt with what needs dealt with, regardless of my presence. So I would use my flight to go back to the Arboretum of Venarium.
Okay. You come back, and our little friend, Jacques, comes flying up to you, as angry as a little hornet man can be.
Absolutely stone-faced. Jacques, I do not need a word of your bullshit. You would not believe the day I had. And if the next thing out of your mouth is not welcome home, we will be having wasp sandwiches for dinner tonight.
Which is the equivalent of, welcome back. We thought you were dead.
Jacques, didn't you know I am already dead?
And he flies away. So it'll be like an hour or two, kind of going about your business, going through the motions, because it's a big to take in. That this wife that you've heard so much about has actually been with you all this time. To find out that there's so much more going on, you didn't even fully understand the situation you were in for as long as you were in it. Eventually, you hear a knock at the Arboretum door. And you turn around. It's Troy. Hey, dickhead. You ditched me on prom night. What the hell?
Troy, I would tell you the same thing I've told Jacques. I am dealing with quite a bit. It was not my intention, nor did I leave on my own accord. I like you, Troy. But I will eat a dog meat sandwich.
You're spicy today. You're very spicy. I don't know how I feel about that. However, Marcellus is off doing whatever he does.
Ah, Marcellus.
So, I managed to talk my way into getting to see Bernard. I thought you and Marcellus might want to come with me, but he is otherwise occupied. So, if you would like to go, now's the time.
Troy, take me to my friend.
Alright, let's head out. And it's working your way down the Anarium honeycomb till you get just above the bottom floor. A door opens, and it's very much like a prison, but much cleaner than one would expect, because it's an Anarium, and you can snap your fingers if you're magical and clean the place up.
Yeah, well, plus I mentioned too, like you're not dealing with your average prisoners. A lot of the prisoners we would probably be dealing with would be like, so this has to be pretty state of the art, pretty clean. Everything needs to be working.
A lot of magical wards that if things get messy, they don't work as well.
Like a Magneto chamber where everything's made of plastic.
Yeah, like it's very much catered to who it's holding.
Yeah.
As we walk in that door, there are two...
Bernard's just in the broom closet. They're not that worried.
We're not worried about him. He beat on the door for an hour and gave up. Then he shit in the corner, but we left. No, as we walk in, there are two beings. They are fairly large. Think... almost gorilla-sized, but bigger, like a small hill. But they're fitting inside this room, this area. Maybe refrigerator. Like, literally a small hill.
Okay.
They have huge bulbous noses, to the fact that it is odd and disquieting, and they are covered in hair. They have four-fingered hands that are the size of your fucking head. Language. The size of your head. You know these to be two of the lesser kinds of Norwegian troll. I smell the blood of an Englishman.
Any Christians?
Any Christians? But, like, these are the guards. They are built to last and can deal out some damage. They kind of just look at us Their huge noses do the... And then one of them waves, and Troy walks past with you. We go to the last cell on the left side, slide the window open, and go, "Hey, how's it going, big guy?"
Ah, great. So time for me to get out. Great. I knew they'd come around. I knew they'd.
Oh, no, this is a visit,
Oh.
not conjugal. I mean, if you guys need to do your thing, I'll look away. But I have to be in the room when it happens.
I appreciate it, but they actually let me have some magazines in here, so I'm all good.
That's...
Anyways,
Jesus, weird. We're going to get the door open, but you know the drill. You got to put your hands on the circles against the back wall.
Okay. All right.
Sounds like a conjugal visit.
I was about to say that.
Well, if he's not touching the circles, the door won't open.
Okay.
Presumably you do.
Yep.
Door opens, and it's... Explain to me what your little room looks like. This, admittedly, is a prison of sorts. It's not saying that you have no bed, no mat, no bathroom, but, like, what are we seeing here?
Okay, so in my head, like I said, what I see, this is going to be a pretty state-of-the-art facility. This isn't like a dreary, concrete block. This is like, it's pretty fancy. Like, it's like white walls. The bed is kind of built into and coming out of the wall, so like nothing can be moved. Same for the sink. It's more built from it, not because they expected to keep Bernard in here, but for other more powerful entities. Everything is pretty tough, made of not just your kind of average things you would see in a jail cell, but there is like a little desk in there, to where I say desk, but where you can keep stuff. Maybe if I wanted to write some letters, which Bernard is not doing, they have allowed him to have some newspapers, that kind of thing. So you see that. That's probably what he's been doing. And that's pretty much it. They're not letting him have, some of the finer things you can get in prisons. You get yourself a little TV or anything like that. It's pretty
Bare bones.
pretty bare bones. And
Not bad, but bare bones.
Yeah.
All right. Troy kind of looks around, sees the newspapers. How are you holding up in here?
Well, the peanut butter they have is awful. Those sandwiches are... I mean, I'm choking a couple down a day, but it's not good, I'll tell you that. And they confiscated my whiskey, so that... I tried to make some hooch in the toilet, but that didn't go well.
I don't think you've been in here long enough. Give it time.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'm going to try to drag this out as much as I can. I think he's just... Jokes aside, I think he's going to look down and he's just going to be like, I'm doing what I can. Like, I fucked up. Right? I don't know. Whatever happens, I'm comfortable.
Well, your hearing started today. Agent Boyd is out for blood. I don't think you have a friend in him.
No.
It kind of seems like he might dislike you more than Corbin, and that takes a lot.
Yeah.
He wants you held accountable for the 7 deaths and all the injuries. Emily's really gone to bat for you. She's pushing for suspension and therapy, which you kind of need, if I may. And that's she's pulled in a lot of favors to keep you out of the killing fields where Boyd wants you to go. Which seems a little harsh, even in my opinion, but he's building a case. Eventually, from what I understand, they're going to talk to the rest of the teams that went both Zulu and Whiskey. I don't know how it looks. I know that Kermit Graybeard is coming here personally to oversee your hearing. And yeah, the gray old wizard man might look super friendly and be very nice. You need to be careful how you talk to him, because what he says goes, and if he decides you're not worth saving, he could snap his fingers on the spot and immolate you. It's not his style, so you literally have to try to kill him to do that, but bear in mind, he's the head of Anarium America. America.
I think he's just gonna kind of sit down on the bed and kind of scratch his beard. And you're like, yeah, I can't argue that I'm exactly worth saving, but sure wouldn't be upset if they did happen to pull this one out. Maybe could have handled that a little differently, you know.
I mean, if you wanted to kill the imposter but not do it in front of a crowd of over 100 people, yeah, buddy, I'm sorry, but that was a pretty poor choice.
It's a good thing he did it in front of the Amish. Otherwise, it'd be all over the social media.
He's been spending too much time with you.
Not enough. Not enough.
All right, I have brought you a friend. I've told you what I needed to, kind of a warning for what's to come. I'm going to step outside and leave you guys in here. I know you have a pretty good friendship. I mean, I know you, but I wouldn't call us besties by any means, Bernard. I do respect you for what you do, but you did fuck up. But I'm going to leave you guys alone for a bit. I'll be just outside the door. When you're ready, give me a knock. You put your hands on the circles, and we'll get out of here.
All right. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it.
Aw, you softy.
That'd be a really good one for the animation that you were just talking about. Like that, like the nod that Cameron just gave us there with that. Like really, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that was articulated to listeners.
He wanted to open up a little bit, but couldn't quite bring himself to do it.
Troy steps out, closes the door behind him.
I assume that you had to be on the circles for Troy to step
Yep.
out. Yeah.
If you guys want to have your conjugal visit now, that's fine. I just didn't want it to happen while I was there.
Bernard, as the hell did you find yourself in this situation?
You know, I'd love to say that I blacked out, but I was actually relatively sober when it happened. Which normally not the case for when I get in trouble. I don't know, man. I just saw my dead wife and I just lost it. He kind of throws his hands up and he's just like, I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to do it. I guess I kind of thought if everyone sees it and sees that this isn't a person, we can maybe flush out the other ones faster.
Which did.
Which did. But
Mission accomplished, boys.
I guess I didn't really account for how bloodthirsty those things really are and how quickly things would go to shit.
And that the rednecks would open fire into a crowd.
Yeah.
That's as your DM, not as Troy.
That was like...
That would be funny for Troy.
Just like
outside
through the door, like sliding it open, being like, yeah, and those rednecks were assholes.
Yeah, or just like an angel that is dressed, or like looks like Troy, like pops up on his shoulder, like, and this.
And don't forget this.
Yeah, that's right.
Not all your fault.
But yeah, I don't know. You know what's funny? I've lived so many years, and I've really been living for nothing. And I finally thought of something that I want to do, something that I need to do. He kind of gestures around him. He's like, and I can't leave. Funny how life works, huh?
Bernard, are you telling me your story does not end here? Does not end like this?
Well, I guess I don't really get to write that ending. But if I do get to leave, yeah, I'm telling you, things will be different.
I'm assuming I couldn't use flight and just take him back to the swamp.
I mean, it would probably put you in a cell right next to it.
Yeah. We would have a head start, though.
Fuck. Still in the cells. All right. I did not make up stats for those trolls, so if you need me to, tell me now.
Bernard, I would do my part to see you live to die another day. Because if I am being honest with you, I too have discovered I have unfinished business. And
Peeling back my chest so you can see the YouTuber mask.
another familiar face to see this story be written would be much welcome.
He's gonna kind of like point his finger, like, you know, you'd think I'd get used to a thing like that. Freaks me out every time. But no, I'm happy to see you both. You know, I always knew we're pretty kindred spirits, you and I think. And if I can get out of here, maybe we can take care of our business together.
I was just hoping you said we're very kindling spirits.
That's very good. That's very good. I wish Bernard was quick enough. I'm going to put that on Bernard, not me.
Is there anything else that we can attempt to do for you from outside, Bernard? Keep in mind, Bernard, I assume all these wallets are tapped.
Oh, for sure. I think Bernard's just gonna kind of take a few steps, looking around, thinking. He's gonna go, you know, if you could somehow get word to Mama Teresa that just tell her this time I might not come back, and I appreciate everything she's done for me.
It will be done, Bernard.
All right, I think he's just gonna give you a nod, and then he's just gonna go put his hands on the circles.
I do enjoy seeing this side of you.
He's gonna take one off and smack his ass and just say, "Don't get used to it."
Au revoir, mon chéri.
He's just gonna go like, "No,
Fucking speak French.
no." Buenos gracias to you too.
Domo arigato, Mr. Romano.
Domo, I don't know. Get out of here. You're making it weird.
So yeah, I think that's the end of the exchange on Bernard's part.
All right.
I'm content with that.
You step out. Troy takes you back up to the front, walks you back to the Arboretum, and takes a minute to put his hand on your huge shoulder up above a bit and just be like, he's in a bad spot, but he's got enough people here who cares about him. Unless he really messes up in a hearing, I don't think he'll kill him. He may not work here anymore, but I don't think they'll kill him.
I don't think you know Bernard as well as the rest of us. There is not a single situation that he could not fuck up worse. 'Cause he can.
Happy thoughts, Orpheus. Happy thoughts. So as Troy leaves you in the Arboretum, what do you do? What is your next move, our beloved tree person?
Jacques. Come here, please.
He doesn't even fly to you. He walks to you, taking his time.
Jacques, I am sorry for the way that I treated you earlier. I have much on my mind. Jacques, will you continue to do what you do best and tend to the Arboretum for me? I have another task that I must take care of. And when I get back, Jacques, I will fill you in on the rest. Garçon, do not take that attitude with me, or I will take my apologies back. That is fair. Thank you.
And I will perform flight to Mama Teresa's, the nearest body of water, right in front of her house, which is my swamp. Yes?
She's close enough.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take you very long to get there by foot. I mean, I assume you're going to pepper grinder yourself into a human. Ain't nobody here to save you this time.
Yeah, I will definitely grab my pepper grinder on the way. Which I should have a conversation with you about. How much can I transport with me when I'm flying? Personal gear, another person?
Another person
If I
or
was, like-
other people, like two, is an option. You have to start rolling for it then.
Okay.
Up to this point, all of your teleports have been pretty
minimalist,
story-driven, so I don't make you roll for it every time.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fucked up way to find out you can only transport 1.5 people. We're just like,
As I would say, like,
It went vertical! I got my left side!
it burns. I don't know where my foot is, but something's licking it.
yeah, just 1 foot or like one finger.
Something's
You just show up and like, we're all good. Oh, what the fuck?
every fucking time.
The complications go from like 7 to 9 is you get where you're going, but maybe not exact, depending on how many people you're taking. And then if you fail it, people go places. And it's never going to be like, oh, wow, you're in hell, but you're going to wake up in Minnesota next to a lake and go,
Which is
why?
hell.
I'm
for
sad
being
this
honest.
never happened. Like, because with Bernard's like future in jeopardy currently, to where at a point where, you could have actually you all transport to just like a random like metropolitan area, and Bernard just starts walking away like, what are you doing? We don't even know where we are. He's like, I do. We're in Vegas.
Next time we're in like our vehicle, I'll just have a nightmare just trying to take the whole vehicle with us.
Like, I know exactly where I'm going.
Oh, a whole
The
vehicle
whorehouse is over here.
with people in it.
Yeah.
I would increase your difficulty.
Oh, absolutely. But it'd be asleep, and I would not know where I'm going. It'd be like one of those hunting
It
nightmares.
would almost be worth it for you guys
Yeah.
to teleport into a
Now
mall.
that would be a
Yeah.
great one for like the animation where like you're in the back seat like sleeping, and then like we're just driving, and then we poop to like a horrible demonic dimension, like what? And then it shifts back. We're like,
Anybody else see that?
We're not talking about it. We're not talking about it.
Just like, I slept amazing.
was anybody else just momentarily in a hellscape?
Was that Pinhead? Tell me you guys saw Pinhead.
And like everyone else in the car is asleep except for you. So you're the only one that's like,
Wide
some
fucking
shit
awake.
just happened. Shit just happened. And nobody saw it.
So I'll fly back to my swamp. While in the waters of my swamp, I'll go ahead and crack my shaker.
And it is a short walk. I mean, it's nothing crazy to
Yeah.
get to where she's at.
I probably understand at this point in time people don't take too kindly to swamp things, and so
Yeah, no.
I would say I'm at least 100 yards away from like sight line of roads, sidewalks, houses.
Yeah. I mean, you're close, but you're not there.
Yeah,
You step out.
probably got a quarter-mile walk. I don't know.
Yeah, nothing major.
Yeah.
You get there, you knock on the door. Look at that. You knocked on the door. Mama Teresa comes to the door rather flustered. It takes her a minute to get to the door, but when she gets there, she's a little flustered. I told you your appointment. Oh. All right. Come in. Come in. You would not be here if it was not important. Let's go. She walks in and she guides you to a room. In her main sitting room, there's a couple. And they both seem really, really sad. And there's some stuff out on the table. She ushers you through there. Clearly, she had an appointment to do her thing with someone else. It's probably another 15-20 minutes of you sitting in the waiting room. There's not
I love that image of Orpheus just like sitting quietly on like a little couch.
I almost see the couch folded as he's sitting in the middle, and everyone's just looking at this diminutive, like 5'6"
this regular
French
sized
guy,
dude.
just bowing the couch. Like, what are they feeding you?
At about 15-20 minutes, because she was almost done. She thought you were her next appointment showing up early. She comes back in. All right, Orpheus, what do you need?
Mama Teresa, I do appreciate how you can see right through me. What I need is personal, but it is not why I come here. I come here for Bernard.
Oh, what did that white boy do this time to get himself in trouble, huh?
It is far worse than anything you have seen him do. And I am sure you have seen him do things to make a whore blush.
Alright, what did he do?
Mama, he committed one of the biggest sins of the Anarium. He killed in front of others. He spoiled his cover. He lost his shit.
Oh. The government is a difficult thing for me to have to deal with. I can petition for him, but they will not listen to me. They come to me when they need help. And they know that I am a friend of Bernard's, but ultimately, I don't think I can help him.
I don't know that he needs help. He wouldn't say it in such a way. But he told me to tell you he loves you.
He did not tell you that he loves me. He has not loved anyone since his wife and children died. Not even himself.
You are the closest thing to love that this man knows. No?
I will grant you that. You see things the way they are.
Mama, Bernard does fear that he will not be home. I'm not asking you to do anything. I just came to tend to the man's wishes and let you know that I will do what I can as well.
Oh, she puts her hand on your face. Almost like a mom wiping off schmutz with her thumb.
Wiping off the pepper.
Do not worry about Bernard. He always comes home.
I will tell him you love him too.
That is not what I said.
All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Anarium, a Monster of the Week podcast. Again, thank you for your patience, and we apologize for, well, excuse me. We apologize for our tardiness on these episodes coming out, but we are getting back together. We are getting things rolling, and we're going to keep things on a better, more consistent basis for you guys. We've been in contact and talking, and we really have some pretty exciting ideas, some things that are going to kind of shake up how we do things, but I think in good ways, things that I think you will find interesting and fun. So keep an eye out. We're going to try to do better, be more consistent, and just make this a more maybe active podcast, because I know we have some fans that get a little frustrated with sometimes we just go dormant. So we're going to work on that. If you have any suggestions, we got some great ones recently. Remember that as Anarium at yahoo.com, anariumpod at yahoo.com. Send us an email and let us know how you're enjoying the show. That's it for me, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.